question?
No, let me finish.
Oh boy.
Basically, what I was saying is, I think my creative endeavors, like, while I do them now, whether it's an idea for a song, which is mostly what I do, it's what I do. No, whether it's an idea for like movie ideas, I've had some of those, like not full, like short films maybe, or like sketches that I want to do that I think are funny. I'd probably just actively pursue those more. Now it's like, oh, an idea for a song, I write it down. I don't really take the time to be like, I'm writing a song today, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write it, right? But I think I do a lot more trial and error, where I'm like, I'm going to make myself write this today.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I'll throw it away. Or if it does work, I'll keep it. Like, right now it's kind of more just like, when the inspiration hits, then I do it, which is fine, and I like doing it that way, and I think sometimes I feel like the best stuff comes out of that way. But I think if I had the time with no money, and money was no issue, I'd do a little more trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Actively pursue not only actively pursue the ones I already do, but maybe new ones. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And then
question 3.
You always have a response to stuff like this.
Me?
I can't wait to talk to someone who's like, I have no idea.
Well, fun fact, expedition of triers. What are your fans called?
Brendan likes
triers, tryhards.
Not try.
No. Fun fact, I never know what I'm doing. I'm BSing this whole thing.
Expeditioners.
Expeditioners. Explorers.
Yeah, we're the explorers.
Expedition to try.
We'll figure it out.
Extraterrestrials,
so,
ETs.
Exploring. If you had the option, it's coming back. If you had the option, money wasn't an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You would pursue hobbies.
Yep.
And just go full force
Creative
on that.
endeavors,
probably. So why not do that now?
You really put me in a place, Bryce.
I've asked you this before.
No, I know. I think my answer is
because I feel I'll respond with that.
Okay. I think my answer. Well, you can go first.
Well, I just feel that now is the time when we would have the opportunity to do that, which is kind of what I'm doing at this point.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we can take those risks at this point. So, like, you personally wanting to do, say it was music, you could invest the next, whatever it is, 6 months to solely doing music.
Right.
Oh, well, if your band wasn't on it, but...
Right. Or solo, even.
Yeah, even so. So, like, just full force on music. So, like, promote yourself on Spotify, run ads and stuff on social media. Just make a new song, like, every day, release new songs all the time. Like, just go full force. So, like, why not do that now when you don't really have all the adult pressures, I guess?
Yeah. I'd say my answer is twofold.
Oh, boy.
Threefold? Many folds.
Toilet paper.
One.
Oh, that's ply.
I think I've sort of... That was good. I didn't catch it. It took me a sec. I think it's multifaceted answer. There's a word for you. The first I think I've sort of already answered, which is I don't think I don't do that now. I think just the way I do those things is a lot more just kind of like, oh, I have an idea and I write it down, right? I don't like not take the time. It's not like, oh, I have an idea, but I don't have time to do it. I won't do it now, right? I don't really do that. I mean, I do that a little. That happens a little more with stuff that are bigger, like an idea for a short film, which is like I've made for classes before, but I've never really pursued on my own, right? Or like sketches or writing more, right? Like I've done those things in part or been exposed to them or enjoy them just as a consumer, but I don't really do them on my own. I haven't really jumped into pursuing them on my own. So maybe it'd be the start of the new ones when I have more time. But again, I don't think I don't not do that now. You know what I mean? Like when we had the idea for a short film, we wrote it down and worked on it a little bit, right? To the extent that we could almost. I guess maybe my first point is that I think the way I do pursue those things is very inspiration based.
It's not like you're just pushing it off completely.
Right. It's not like a thing. It's like, oh, I would do it if I could. It's like I do it. You know, it's just not to the full extent that maybe I'd want to.
Yeah.
And I think part of it's just the reason is that it's inspiration based. You know what I mean? I do it kind of when I feel I can or do it. I mean, if I could write a great song every day, I would. You know, I don't even feel like my great songs are great right now. You know, so I think that's part of it, right? It's like I'm not doing it. It's just that's just kind of how I have fallen into doing it, right? Yeah. So I feel kind of almost comfortable doing it that way. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel like I'm lacking. I don't feel like I'm missing an opportunity because I feel like I'm pursuing it. The second part of that is...
check this out. Link in the description also right here to the Kings of Nothing. No, not there.
Oh!
Not there.
Here?
Right.
Down here. In the description below.
Right.
I don't know. You know how to do that? Do you know how to put them on?
Yeah. Right.
So this should be the thumbnail.
That's the Limbo bar. Yeah. Link. It'll be in the description too, but...
Should I promote that now?
The Kings of Nothing.
Should I do that?
What?
Should I promote that?
We just did.
I got a Bandcamp, I got a Facebook, I got Twitter.
Yeah, I'll put all of it in the description. Spotify, because he's in the Stone Age.
Oh, I'm in Spotify now.
Yeah,
I'm on the Spotify now.
You're on the Spotify.
Apple Music, we're on it.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be
awful. What was
Don't
your
listen
second
to
point?
it. It's awful. No. My second point is I think so. I'm sure a lot of people, not to kind of set myself aside in any way, right? I'm not special or anything like that. I think a lot of people you'd ask that, or like a lot of a generic answer to that, not generic, a common answer to that would be, oh, because I'm focusing on like my career right now, or, oh, I don't know, life gets in the way with like my responsibilities, and you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I guess that begs the question, why don't you make your hobbies your responsibilities,
that's
right?
What the question is,
But I think, for me personally, I've set... the way I kind of went about school and the way I went about choosing what I want to do, I was never, especially because this question has to do with money, I was never really money-oriented. I was never like, oh, I gotta make a lot of money so I can do this and do this, right? A lot of the stuff I like to do, whether it's reading, playing music, watching movies, like, that doesn't cost a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's... So I think I never was really had an urge to, like, I gotta make money so I can buy this thing, so I can go here, or whatever it might be, right? So so that's part of it, and I think I was a lot more focused on, like, what do I want to do that I'll enjoy, right, or that I value, or something like that, and going into education, especially English education, right, I put a lot of value in that. Most days, sure, like a job is a job, right, like, I think most days I would go in, I might much rather be just hanging out at home with friends, watching a movie, or maybe reading a book, or kind of entertaining myself, or, like, going places and trying new stuff, or playing music. But that being said, I think I don't think I could have worked a job where that's like separate from my work. Does that make sense, kind of? I think I put value of enjoyment and just like value of what it is into on education and English, especially like reading. Like, I get to read at my job, I get to talk about and think about books and like bigger concepts and all the stuff I like to do on my own with friends at my job. So I set my career path up in a way that, lets me enjoy it while I'm there almost. So it's one of those things, and it's also a job where it's like, I don't have to get called into weekends. You know what I mean? I don't have, I'm going to have... And
you have summers off.
I have summers off, right? I mean, that's not like the main reason I went in. It's like, oh, I get so much time off. Snow days, right? Snow days. But it is, that's part of it, which is a perk. And I think even if I had to work year round, I'd still like it and choose this because I feel like I'm doing a job that like I think makes a difference and is important. Yeah. I think even if I wasn't interacting with others or educating the youth, right? Like, I'd still enjoy just the talking of and focusing of and learning of books and literature and things like that and ideas, discussing them. I value like communication and thinking and stuff like that, deep thinking. So like, all that considered, going to go back to your question, right? Like, another reason why I don't just dive full into like, I'd say maybe the band, right, and music is maybe more my passion than teaching. I think I like doing that more than I like to do teaching. But I value teaching at such a high level, and it makes more sense to make money, to get, benefits of dental and, and like healthcare and stuff. And also, I also think it's, like I said, it's important, right? I think it's education and being a smarter society and working toward that is important. So all those things considered, right? It's like, there's days I do maybe I have a rough day, or maybe I just am in the mood, right? I do want to just, I don't want to do teaching, I just want to start a band, right? Just do band full time. There's days I really want to do that. I'm really inspired to do that, or hear about other musicians, like, I just wish I was doing music right now. But I think there's, I think it's more, it in a way, it makes sense to keep doing, just to focus on education while I'm doing all my hobbies and stuff and more passions. It makes sense on like a financial level. It makes sense on a, like, you know, more of the adult reasons where it's like, oh, you need a job, make money, pay bills, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also a thing where I don't have to separate those that I think a lot of people do. You know, again, I don't want to sound like I'm sound pretentious in any way or like I know better, because I have, like I said, expedition try. I don't. But I think that, you know, by choosing to do something you value or like or whatever, you know, I can get through rough days of teaching where I'm like, oh God, this day kind of sucked or whatever. I don't feel like doing this today. In the back of my mind, I still end at a point where I'm like, oh, the pros outweigh the cons for sure, you know, and I'm almost doing something I care about, like my hobbies, like my passions, you know, for a job. You know, my job is, I'd say, partially a passion. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think also too, it's also you know, it also goes back. It's like self sustaining too, in a way, quote unquote, because like, you know, I actually, like, to quote someone else, there's a band I like, the Descendants, and there's a video of the drummer Bill Stevenson giving an interview, and they ask him. Sorry if this is going too off your topic, but it applies. He gets asked like, what advice you give to like aspiring musicians, and he says, you know, get something in the pocket first, something solid, and then what your passion is just full passion, right? Like, you know, like once you have a job that just pays the bills, you don't have to worry about money for making music. You don't have to worry about making. You don't have to worry about succeeding or not succeeding. You're just doing it because you love it, right? Yeah. So it's almost like it's a double whammy. You know, it's like a double-ended thing where it's like, you know, I do the education teaching side because, you know, now that I have that, I can not worry about money. I can not worry about, you know, like working or whatever it is, and my passions are fully my passions. I'm doing it just because I like to do it, even though it's not making money, or even if it's not succeeding, or no one's listening to me, or whatever like that. But then even, you know, it's twofold, because that's great. You know, the job helps the passion, the career helps the passions, but at the same time, my career is also a passion, right? So all those things considered, it's like it's all around, right? I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, because I think, me personally, if I was doing a job where I felt like I was wasting my time, I'd go nuts. Or if I was just pursuing my passion just to try to succeed at it, again, I don't mean to sound like uppity, but like, I think I'd lose a love for that. You know what I mean? So I think that's how I am, and what I value, and how I view how you should like go into life, and how to operate in this. Not to get too grandiose, the society we live in, right? You have to work, you have to make money, you have to pay bills somehow. You know, why not do it with something you care about? And I totally agree with your question, right? Like, why don't I just do the things I care about the most? But at the same time, it's like, I've found a place, I think, because I've thought about this a lot too, and we've talked about it a lot, like outside of the podcast. So like, I think I've found almost like a settling point, which sounds bad. Like, settling's always like seen as a bad thing, but I think it's a point where, like, you know, I went into teaching English because I like it, and, you know, there's tons of pros that I value a lot, and sure, there's cons like anything, right? I mean, there's cons to even my favorite stuff, like playing music, but I think where my mind settles with all that is more on the pro side than on the con side. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can commiserate more with teaching and playing music after school, or doing my passions after school or on the weekends, because I still enjoy teaching. You know, it doesn't feel like two separate things where I got to work and then I have my passions. Like, no, I enjoy my work, you know? So I think that's my answer to why I don't just jump into my number one passion, is because, you know, I just don't feel that I don't feel I'm not doing it. And also, I feel like by not going full into it, I'm still pursuing it in a way, you know, still pursuing passion in a way.